Okay, I believe we're live now. Okay, and a little different introduction there. Um, try that one for a bit and see how that works. But I thought that we would talk this week about the state of the real estate market, which actually is pretty good. And we're going to talk about the positive and negative sides of it, and most of it will be positive, but there's always something where one side benefits, there's always someone else that may be hurting. So um, you can make any comments you want, and what I'm going to do is post the outline of this discussion on my blog, Real Estate with Mr. G blog, and so it will be REALESTATEWITHMRG blog. Okay, and there's no period between Mr. and G, but I'll put it on the social media accounts as well of where to go, and I'll have the summary of this on my blog. Okay, and if you want to leave any comments, please do. All right, so let's talk about some positive sides. And some positive information is: one, sales are up nationwide. Two, home prices are also up nationwide. And another thing I want to add, you can request here or on my blog, or you could email me. I'm able to send you charts of how sales are doing directly in your neighborhood. I could narrow it down to zip codes. I could narrow it down not only to zip codes, but if you happen to have a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, I could do a chart based upon that size house and let you know, one, how many have sold, what the home prices on them, have they gone up, have they gone down, and they use both the medium and average price, which is another discussion. Medium price is actually, I think, better to determine where prices are going. So if you think of selling, we could really zone in with those charts and know how much prices have gone up or if they went down. But recently, nothing is really going down. And how long they actually stay on the market, which is we're going to talk about in the next few minutes as well. Number three, there are more buyers in the market with the economy being stronger and more jobs being created. There are more people who are now eligible to buy, along with increasing wages. Some people still may debate that. Some probably, some incomes have gone up, not everybody, and that's a whole other discussion. But as these, one of the biggest problems we had with today's market prior to the economy getting strong is that home prices was going up, but the salaries haven't been meeting those eligibility requirements for those more expensive homes. So that's a plus now. Okay, as people's wages increase, now they could apply for these homes that actually went up in price. Okay, there's also another interesting statistic that entry-level buyers, people who bought their first home, maybe it was something around 1,200 square feet and maybe 3 bedrooms with not really a formal dining room area, let's say. They have a living room that they split up between dining and a living room area, could now afford to move up to their next home, which in most situations will be larger. Okay, so these entry-level home owners now can now move up to bigger homes, and that's been a plus. The flip side to that, when we get to the sellers who have the Actually, the buyer who's going to move up to the bigger home is also going to be a seller. And again, with the strong economy, that home will sell hopefully more quickly now and at a better price. Number 4, and this is a big one, and this is something that I was very surprised to find out, is that the mortgage rates have really stayed low. I really thought as the economy began to get better between the last administration and this one, that the mortgage rates would increase. And a lot of people expected that, not only me. But they've stayed leveled, and sometimes they have gone down. Now, with the situation we're having with the coronavirus and not the coronavirus, I'm sorry, is that the stock market unfortunately is doing bad, and this may bring down again mortgage rates a little bit more. So that's an offset of the situation we have right now. But nonetheless, for the long range, the mortgage rates have been low. So even as prices go up on these homes, they can still be affordable because of the low interest rates. And of course, your monthly mortgage payment will be more reasonable. Okay. Sellers who have held off putting their homes in the market because of previous low home prices can now put it on and receive a better net gain on the sale of their homes. So I have a whole bunch of clients who for the longest time have been holding off. They were the prices of that houses went for prior to like 2007. I mean, they really shot up too much, and then we had the crash. The prices went down really low, and they've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and now it's more opportune to put your house on the market than it was maybe about 2 or 3 years ago. And with more people in the market, average time for a house in the market is about 2 months. Okay, and that's pretty fast. But now we go to the negative side, and that makes it tough for us real estate people because we have a low housing inventory. Simply put, we need more listings. Supply is not meeting demand. So, my people who are listening out there, again, and I've sent down some of the emails, put it on my blog. If you've been thinking of selling, the time really is now, and take advantage of the good economy and the low interest rates. There's going to be more people. There's not going. There are more people in the market now to purchase your home. The other negative side is that buyers may have to compete with multiple offers, causing a highest and best offer scenario. So you might have 2 or 3 home buyers bidding on the same home. And then, of course, when they do that, the seller will then request highest and best. And that could not only just be done by upping the price. Let's say you were asking for closing costs and you cut them out. Sometimes that will yield more of a profit to the seller than just increasing the price. Okay, you might beat out somebody who actually made a higher price on the property, but was asking for closing costs. So you knock off the closing costs, and you may be the winner. But that's the situation. You may have to be in a situation where you're dealing with other offers of the property. And this is a good thing and a bad thing, and I don't want to call it a bad thing, but one of the positive outcomes of a stronger economy is that you have less foreclosed and short sale properties on the market. Now, this affects investors who are looking to flip properties, buying them low, putting work on them, upgrading them, and then putting them back on the market. And investors, now you talk about highest and best. One house that was recently purchased through me, we had to deal with about 10 other offers, and my my client who won the bid, and she was smart. I was going to suggest 10,000 over the asking price. She actually went 20,000 over the price. She won, and I said to the listing agent, I said, "Did we have to go that?" She said, "Yeah, you beat this other buyer by, she didn't give me the exact amount, but she said, it wasn't much of a difference." So, if you're an investor, it's a little tough right now because of the better economy. There are less inventory of distressed properties right now. So in the long run, I'm going to divide this up now between buyers and sellers. If you are looking to buy, I urge you to do it now, okay, while these mortgages are really, really low. All right. And if you're feeling confident with your job and it's going to be long term, and you're looking, to later on increase your salary, I would say please enter the market as a buyer and contact me. I will love to represent you. And it's for sellers. If you've been on the fence about putting your house on the market, please don't wait anymore, because again, there are many buyers in the market. Home prices are up, and we have a short period of time of houses being on the market because we don't have that much supply. So houses are getting contracts on them, some within 1 month. The average now is about 2 months, as opposed to around 6 months. But some houses, and probably even more than some, are going like within 4 weeks' time with receiving a contract. So again, for both sides of the table, it's a great time to enter the real estate market. And again, I would love to represent you. You could reply to this post. It's going out on Facebook and it's going out on YouTube. You could reply there, or go to my blog, which I told you before, and I'll actually add it to the comments on this one. So it's a beautiful, cool day. Enjoy the rest of the day. I will post this live stream. I'll call it a podcast on my blog, and we'll talk again next week. Thank you, Harry. I'm glad that you thought it was good advice. And by the way, on my blog, these articles that I've been posting reinforced everything I just said. Not only are there articles, there's videos that I put on there as well. So I tried to make it very influential and stock full of good information about today's market. So give it a try. Let me say thank you, Harry. And again, again, even after this video is over, you could still post comments, and we'll talk again next week. I'm going to vary the times. I might do this earlier on a Saturday, depending if I have homes to show in the morning to receive more viewers to it. So I'm playing around with the time schedule when best to show a video. And I figure the weekend is good because a lot of people are home, but I might try to do it earlier next week. So thank you very much. Be well, be healthy, and wash your hands. Wash your hands all the time. That's the biggest problem. Like right now, I just wipe my nose, right? Or not my nose, but right on the knee. So now it's my left hand, I'm going to shake hands with the right. But that's how this virus spreads. It spreads by that type of contact. All right. If I go and I sneeze in my hand, and then I open up a door and someone else opens the door, and if I have that, sickness, it spreads. So everybody's saying, please wash your hands all the time as much as possible. Okay. All right. So be well, and we'll see you next time.